Let me tell you a story about two youngest sons. Once upon a time there was a clergyman, the Reverend William Henry McCausland. In 1835 William married Martha Fannin, and together they had 9 children. Their 9th and last child was Edwin Loftus McCausland, who was born in 1858. Edwin grew up and joined the Royal Marine Light Infantry in 1876. You might say that his military career had a faltering start, because in 1879 Lieutenant Edwin McCausland sailed with his battalion to South Africa to join the Zulu War. However, by the time they arrived, the Zulu War was over. But Edwin was soon to be in the thick of action when he was wounded in the Egyptian War in 1882. During this campaign, Edwin became noticed and was decorated. In 1885, he was promoted to captain and a major in 1893. Edwin married Georgina Skelton Mitchell, and they had 3 children: Marjorie, Henry, who was born in Gosport, and Frank, born in 1897. Edwin's career continued to escalate, and he was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel in the year 1900 and to Major General in 1910. Now his youngest son Frank also joined the army, and at the start of the Great War, Frank graduated from being a gentleman cadet at the Royal Military College to become a 2nd lieutenant. Frank went to France on the 23rd of November 1914 to join the 2nd Battalion Royal Scots on the Western Front, and like his father, started climbing the promotion ladder. He was promoted from 2nd lieutenant to lieutenant in May 1915. Meanwhile, not to be outdone, his father was promoted to lieutenant general a month later. Amazingly, both father and son survived the Great War of 1914 to 1918. Edwin as Lieutenant General and Frank as an acting captain. Lieutenant General Edwin McCausland and his wife Georgina settled down in Lee-on-the-Solent on his retirement from the army in 1922. Sadly, the following year Edwin died suddenly. He was 65 years of age. His funeral was at Rowner Cemetery in Gosport. Meanwhile, his son Frank continued with his military career and was posted to India in 1932. Sadly, while in India, Major Frank McCausland died of pneumonia in January 1933. He was 36 years of age. Now, if the names Edwin and Frank McCausland don't seem familiar to you, it might be you know them better as St. George and the Kneeling Knight. These are characters depicted in the stained glass windows, which can be found in the Lady Chapel in St. Faith's Church. 6 months after her son Frank died, his mother, Mrs. Georgina McCausland, commissioned 2 stained glass windows for St. Faith's Church in Lee-on-the-Solent, which was being constructed. 1 window for her son, Major Frank McCausland, and the 2nd for her husband, Lieutenant General Edwin McCausland, who had died 10 years earlier. You can find out more about the lives of Edwin and Frank McCausland for yourselves by reading the information posters currently in the Lady Chapel. These are the first of many stories we hope to discover and share in the newly formed St. Faith's History Group. The History Group plans to meet regularly, and you are invited to join us in this adventure of bringing history alive for everyone who visits this church. We are after people who have stories to share, people who love to research history, and people who love to hear about local history. And together we will be bringing history alive for members in the church and for everyone who lives in the locality. And moreover, it would allow us the opportunity for bringing his story alive. If you are interested in joining this history group, please provide us with your names and contact details after the service. Thank you.